Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, we're going to look at creating a custom text editor color palette. So this is going to apply to anyone out there that has used the Elementor text widget and you've assigned colors through that, or even though those that use the WP editor field with your listing types. This will apply to you as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in from the MyListing Club website. That's mylisting.club. We're going to click on menu here at the top and then resources. And then since this is the latest resource that I've created, it will appear first. So if you're watching this video at a later time, you may need to do a search, or you can come down here and do a filter by code snippets and then look for it that way as well. So lots of ways to get to it, but I wanted to show you that. Okay, so how this came about is what we're looking at now is actually the back end of the MyListing Club website and the actual post that I created for what I'm about to show you for this code snippet. And how this came about was I lost track of how many times that I would go into the text editor and as you see, as I'm doing right now, and let's say you wanted to change the color of some text, then you would go and you would be presented with a color palette when you would click this text color dropdown, and you either have to use what WordPress gave you, or more often than not, you're going to want to put your own custom color in there that matches your branding. And I lost track of how many times I was doing this. I finally was like, I'm going to do something about, there's got to be some way to do something about that. Because when you add your custom color in there, the next time you visit the editor, it's going to be gone, and you got to keep entering it over and over again. Okay, so with this snippet, now instead of seeing that default WordPress color palette, you can define whatever you want in there, and it's going to override. Okay, so now when I click this text editor, we see now that I've got my 3 brand colors in here and nothing more. Now, I'm going to show you how to easily add more colors, but see how cleaner this looks, and you know it's only the colors of your branding and what you want to see. It limits the noise. More important over than anything else is just saving time and not having to keep re-enter those custom colors again, and documenting what your colors are so you can put it in here, or using a color picker or something like that. It's in there and it's ready to go. All right. So that's what we're solving here. And like I said, it's also very useful for your listing types, which I'm going to show you in a second. So you saw there, if I want to change the text color, so I came down here and on my site, there's some things that I want to highlight with my orange branding color or yellow branding color. And like I said, I used to have to come in here, highlight the text, go to the text color, and I would choose this custom button, and I'd have to enter it in here each time. Okay, but now I don't have to. Now I can just select that text, click the text color, select that color there, and boom, I'm done. Save my changes. Huge time savings, especially when you, embarrassingly, how many times I think I've probably done this over the years. But anyway, no longer. That is what it is. So if I want to change this text, for example, to my yellow branding, let's go ahead and choose that text, drop down, text color drop down, and we will choose the yellow. There we go. So just that fast. Okay. The customization notes. Let's look at these here. Adjust lines 4 through 6 with your desired colors. Okay, so I've got, like here, my branding is in here, my 3 colors. If you want to adjust your colors to add more or to change it to your own branding, I'm going to show you here on the Canvas, a copy of the Canvas starter site. So we're going to go into WP Codebox. This is a plugin that my top recommendation for adding code snippets to any WordPress website. I'm not saying that you have to use WP Codebox. It's just my recommendation. You can use whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with adding code snippets to your site. This is just my recommendation. Okay, so looking at that snippet here. So let's say you wanted to change this to match the Canvas starter site, for example. You know, obviously my yellow accent color here is not going to work for Canvas because Canvas has a blue color. So what I would do in that case is just find my blue color for my branding. And we can do that under theme tools, theme options, or I can go over here on this particular site, go to my global light mode CSS package and just grab my accents from here and some of my other colors. So So I'm just going to copy my accent color from this snippet. I'm going to open WP Codebox in another tab just so I can get to this new text editor color palette snippet. Okay, and I'm just going to drop this right in here. And you notice that we don't need that hex value. We just need the actual the value. Okay, so without that, we don't need the hex symbol like that right there. We don't need that. Don't put that in there. Okay, so just the number and the text values, and then in between this second set of quotes here is just our notes. So this is how we remember what that is in our code. Okay, so accent color, black, white. That's good enough for now. Okay, so let's save this. And let's go to, we'll pull up a page over here just to quickly show you how that takes hold. I'll edit, let's just edit this page. And let's edit one of the text widgets. And let's just say we want to change this top paragraph here to our accent color. Okay, so let's click this text color dropdown. There we go. So now it's just limited to our 3 branding colors. So I'm going to choose the accent, and I'm going to choose to make that bold. There we go. So just that fast. Okay, so now let's say you want to add something else, another color in there. So we're going to go back into that code snippet, and we're going to drop down. We're going to create another line in here. Okay, and then we're just going to put. You can copy one of these other lines, so like so, and paste that in if you want. Kind of give us a starting point, or you can just manually type it in. All right, let's say, I'm trying to think what the color red is off the top of my head. Let's just go over here and grab one of our other colors over here. Let's do this light, we'll grab this light blue here. And what did I call this? 10% lighter, accent 30. So here, let's drop that color in again without that hex code, and I'm just going to call this accent 30 just to go along with how I've built the starter site. That's that. So that is telling us that it is 30% our accent color that's 30% lighter. Okay, that is that, and let's save our changes. And one thing to note here, so that this actually would break the code. So the important piece here is you need a comma on the line before the last, which is the white, and you need to remove the comma on the last line. Okay, so whatever the last color that you define here is, just make sure that comma is removed. So just keep following this syntax all the way down. Let's do that one more time just to show an example. If I want to add another color, okay, I'm going to copy this line, paste that in, get our alignment set up here. There we go. Okay, again, the last line does not get a comma, but the line before the last does get a comma. So I'm going to add that in. Okay, otherwise it'll break. So each of these lines up here before the last gets a comma. This last line does not. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll take this out. And again, what do we do with the last line? Remove the comma. Save. Now when I go into my editor and refresh, I should have that light blue color. All right, so let's say we wanted to edit this text again. Let's make this next block of text here. Click the text editor color dropdown, and there's our light blue. Select that. Let's go ahead and bold that. And there you go, just that easy. All right, so that's the Elementor side of things. Now, what about your listing types? Okay, so for that, I've gone in, just edited one of Canvas's listing types. I edited the restaurant. And I personally, have a hard time with using this particular field for a few reasons. But if you're willing to use and understand the risks of using the WP editor field, I've covered this in other videos, but I don't want to go too far into the weeds there, but you got to be careful of what controls you allow people to have, because they can inject malicious links and all kinds of crazy stuff. But let's say that you're willing to take that risk on and maybe you even have some custom code to clean up the editor and remove certain options from it, then cool. I'm going to show you that. So I've just created a temporary custom field here using that WP editor field. And at a minimum, you need the advanced controls to be able to unlock the color option. All right. So now from the front end, I'm going to edit one of the restaurant listing types. I'm going to scroll down at the bottom. That's where that field's at. Here we go. So this is that WP editor field. And again, with the text color, let's say blah, 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 blah. You get that same editor box right here that I showed you before in Elementor. If we click that drop down, what do we see there? We see our custom color palette. Super cool, right? So you've got that defined, and maybe we want to bold it, whatever. A really neat byproduct of this is you can now limit your listing owners to choosing colors that match your branding, your website. That is a really cool byproduct, I think, if that's something that's really important to you, is keeping your branding on point and protecting them from the listing owners from themselves. If you allow every color under the sun, things can happen. Now, what you could do with the CSS is hide this custom option. But if they know enough, they can click custom there and put in their own color and get around the limitation. So up to you what you want to do there, but it is kind of cool to limit them at first to, maybe thinking that just your branding is available. But you can use CSS. You can hide this custom option here if you really want to limit them to 100% match your branding. Okay. And if it's something that you don't want to do, obviously with WP Code Box, it's super simple. Just drop over in here and toggle it off. And then let's just go ahead and refresh this. We'll refresh the listing edit screen. Let's go to our text. And now we see that all of that full range of colors is back. It's just that simple. One of the reasons, again, it's not an advertisement for WP Code Box, as much as I love it, but one of the reasons I really love WP Code Boxes, for instances like this, is now you can save this snippet to the cloud and sync it to your other sites. So if you build multiple sites that have a similar theme, or you just want to get started with this code snippet, then you can sync that across all of your sites and it's ready to go for you out of the box. Okay, it's a really cool feature there. So before we get off here, let's review the notes and just make sure I've covered everything here. Customization notes: adjust lines 4 through 6 with your desired colors. If all you want to define is 3 colors in there, you're good to go. Just edit this code snippet as it sits, put your own colors in there, and you're good to go. What you enter between the first set of quotation marks, e.g. this FFF example. So 6 letter Fs is the color white, and then so that's that. Don't put that hex code in there. What you enter between the second set of quotation marks, e.g. white, is just for your own notes. You can call that whatever you want. Next up here, if you want to add more colors, push line 7 down the code snippet and add your new color. I showed you that here in this video. That's where you start. Okay. Important, and I've covered this in the video, the last color entry cannot be followed by a comma or the code snippet will break. Okay. So we saw that there. I think if there's anything else I need to show you, I think that is it. Again, you don't have to use WP Code Box. You can use whatever you want to add code snippets, whatever you're comfortable with adding code snippets to your site. All right. All right, guys, I hope you found this video useful and it saves you time and that pain in the neck that used to be adding custom colors to those particular areas. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks.